again, liberty-minded friends. Today I'm talking about a big myth about Section 230. It is the Section 230 platform versus publisher debate that you've probably heard about. A lot of Republicans say that if a platform moderates their content, like they remove certain people's posts, they ban certain users, they filter certain content, that they no longer qualify under Section 230 as a platform. They are now a publisher. Essentially, anyone that edits the content of their users by removing certain things and allowing other things isn't a platform anymore. They're a publisher. And in that case, if they're a publisher, they no longer qualify for Section 230. This is a big misconception about Section 230 and the purpose of Section 230. So I'm going to talk about that briefly today so you understand why Section 230 protects platforms and publishers who host user-generated content. What's interesting to me is that Section 230 was created to answer this very question on whether or not websites that host user-generated content and choose to moderate them should be treated like a platform or a publisher. Although the law didn't use the word platform, it used the word interactive computer services, it was pretty clear that the law intended for platforms to be able to moderate, edit, and censor their content. Yesterday, I made a video that explains in greater detail what Section 230 is, what it actually says, and the history of why it was created. So if you want to know more about that, I encourage you to check out my other video. But essentially, Section 230 was created to allow websites that host user-generated content to moderate their community. There were two court cases that paved the way for Section 230's creation. One of them involved Compuserve and the other involved Prodigy. Both cases were very similar in that a user posted defamatory content on their forums. The court ruled that Compuserve was more like a distributor because they took a hands-off approach to their moderation. So since they didn't moderate their content or screen it, they wouldn't know about the content, so therefore they couldn't be held liable for it. Prodigy, on the other hand, moderated their content and had community standards, so they were viewed as a publisher of the content because they exercised significant editorial control of their content. And this is why Section 230 was created, to address this dilemma, so that companies who hosted user-generated content would have the ability to moderate their content without being seen as a publisher of this speech. If Section 230 was passed with the intention of allowing platforms to create their own community standards and moderate their content, why are people now saying that if a platform moderates their content or edits their content in any way, they are no longer a platform but a publisher and don't qualify for Section 230 protection? This myth started with a tweet from Senator Ted Cruz, and it said, if big tech is going to continue to act as a publisher to promote its political agenda, then it should no longer be able to enjoy special benefits provided under Section 230. However, this is not what the law says. This is Cruz's opinion that if a platform moderates their content, that they're no longer a platform, they're a publisher. Libertarians seem to be the only ones who understand and have read what Section 230 actually says. Justin Amash tweeted, "Whoever told you that thing you keep repeating about how social media companies are getting away with acting like publishers while being protected as platforms under Section 230, that person misled you. I'm sorry, platform versus publisher, it's just not a thing. Read the law." Section 230 not only protects platforms and publishers, it was written for that exact purpose that people are complaining about, to allow platforms to edit their user-generated content. A publisher is someone who hosts strictly their own content, only their own words, and they can be sued for that. because that's not protected by Section 230. But a platform's different. They host content from millions and billions of users, and it would be nearly impossible for these platforms to review every single piece of content that was published on their platform before it was published. So this was the intention behind Section 230, to allow these communities to thrive, because they won't be held accountable for things Donald Trump or Kanye West says. They created this law so that people could say what they wanted on these platforms without being sued. That's a little of the background of where this Section 230 myth of platform versus publisher came from. But both Republicans and Democrats want to change or repeal Section 230. Republicans have introduced dozens of bills to stop the censoring on big tech platforms, and Democrats have also introduced dozens of bills, but they want to stop the spread of health misinformation and what they see as discrimination or hate speech and a number of other things. Tomorrow, I'm going to be discussing every single bill that is in Congress right now. So if you're interested in hearing about all the crazy bills to repeal or reform Section 230, please hit the subscribe button. Tomorrow, I will have all of that information available, along with a blog post that describes every single bill in Congress right now. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate all your support. Please help me spread this message of liberty to more people by hitting the subscribe button and supporting me here at Patty for Liberty. Thanks a bunch, guys. I will see you tomorrow with a discussion on the Section 230 bills that are in Congress right now.